Hey, what's up? This is Christopher coming with another review or preview video for Repix, and this will be uploaded to TotalIPad.com. But Repix is a beautiful, superb, wonderful. I'm trying to think of some words that I can use to describe it. It's probably all the above plus more. Now, I just wanted to mention full disclosure right here. I was given this application by the developer. I have had it for about a week. The application launched today, which is Thursday, March 14th, 2013. But I've been using a beta version of the application for about a week or so now. So this application is free to download for the iPad and iPhone, but it does have some in-app purchases. But in the version that I have right here, it's still like a beta version. Everything was unlocked for me so that I could do this review. I just wanted to put that out there just so you know that I was actually given the application and it wasn't one that I purchased. So I just wanted to do a full disclosure. I do that with any video that I create, that I talk about an app that I am given. So a little bit about it. Repix is a filter effect application for photos, but it's not just filters or effects, it's filters or effects rethought. You have total control over the effects that you add. So once I start getting into this, I'll show you what I mean by that, but it's more than just filters, and it's a really wonderful application, and I'm glad that I've been able to use this for the last week. This is definitely going in my photo folders, which I'm real picky with which applications that I actually keep on my iPad. As you can see, I don't have that many apps, but this is definitely one that I will be keeping in here. So let me launch it. Shut up and quit talking. So a little bit about the application. So when you unlock the full app, you'll have 21 brushes plus 2 additional, which actually the eraser is a brush kind of, the undoer is not, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, about what it does and what the purpose of them are. But first I want to go over some of the features of the app. So up here you'll notice the backward and forward arrow, and those are easy. Like if I apply sparkler here, I can back up and that will delete it. If I go forward, that adds it back. Alright, so you have this check mark up here. So you have some places where you can share your finished images at. You can share to Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, email them, or save them to your camera roll. So if I check mark this, as you can see, I have all those options to share the image, which I'm not going to do that now. You have your little 3 blind prong over here. You can tap that and open up. You can view images on your camera roll, view images on PhotoStream. You can import images from Facebook Photos. You could actually use the front-facing camera or the rear-facing camera on your iPad and take a image to edit yourself. And you can just tap the editor button. It'll go back to the editing screen, to your canvas right here. So I'm going to import an image from my PhotoStream. Alright, so I have some images here of the dog Buddy, which is one of my friend's dogs he has a shared PhotoStream album with me, and he's always sending me photos of this crazy little dog. So I'm going to use one of these images. Let's go with, how about this one right here? This one looks like a good one in the bottom left corner. So I'll just tap on that. Image opens up, and there's Buddy. Now you can zoom in or out by pinching or outward pressing, like the pinch and squeeze type thing. If you want to zoom in on a certain area, if you want to move the photo around, take 2 fingers and just place it anywhere on the image, and you can kind of, if I want to zoom in, let's say on his eye right here, I can zoom in right on his eye and his nose. So kind of move that around if you want to do it. Now the brushes do not go back down underneath, so they're always on screen. If you're looking in landscape mode, if you switch it to portrait, the image kind of gets out of the way and the brushes do not overlap over the image, but you can always just make the image smaller or larger to get to a certain area. And if I want to zoom in, I can kind of move it up, and the brushes are not overlapping the photo or the image. So really cool. It works great. So like I said, you have 21 brushes. I'll go over each one of these brushes and show you what the effect looks like when you add these certain effects to it. So you have Cartoonize, Edger, Charcoal, Dotter, Flares, Drips, Posterize, Silk, Bleach, Sepia, Hollywood, Vintage, Freshen, Hatchin, Daubed, Van Gogh, which is really cool, Sprays, Glow Smoke, Stars, Sparkler, Glow Line, Undoer, and Eraser. So you also have some options up here. You can also crop your image, add some, tap the little brightness, contrast, saturation, vibrance, temperature. Got a little vignette into your image if you choose to do that. And I will actually add some of those effects to my portrait here and or my image. But it is a portrait because when I'm done with this, it's going to be like a masterpiece. So we're going to take Buddy here. We're going to transform him into something beautiful. And I will go over which brushes first you get. Now the application is free to download, so with the free version of the app you get Cartoonize, Charcoal, Edger, Dotter, Flares, Drips, Posterize, Silk, Bleach, and then you'll get the Undoer and Eraser tool as well, so you will get both of these. So you get those initial 11 brushes, or I guess 10 if you don't want to include the Undoer as a brush. So the paid brushes, so you have a couple different options for those, and they start with the sepia. Those are color brushes, and those are like $1.99 US, and you'll get 4 of them. You'll get sepia, Hollywood, vintage, freshen. You have artistic brushes. Whoops. You will have Hatchin, Daubs, Van Gogh spray. And then you have light brushes, which are Glow Smoke, Star, Sparkler, and Glow Line. You can also unlock everything for $4.99, or each individual in-app purchase is $1.99. So you save a little money if you just purchase everything. So as you notice here on the image, let me show you another cool little thing here. Notice that I've accidentally touched the image while I was going over that, and it added some glow lines right here. So I could tap the back arrow, or I could also press and hold on it, and it will reset to original. So I can go ahead and do that. Alright, so let me go over some of the brushes here and show you what they will look like. So I'll start with Cartoonize. Do that first, and I'm going to do the whole image, so I'm going to make it smaller so that it makes it really fast, and I just kind of brush on my effect with my finger. And the more you go over the image, the more effect. So the more I go over, the more cartoonized that image will get. And as you can see, let me zoom in a little bit on Buddy, and he is now cartoonized. So I can add a little charcoal to here, and you can look on the screen and see some of the effect that I'm adding. Let me do that. You know what? Let me show you each individual one, and then I'll go back and do a piece so you can kind of see the difference. So let me revert this. So let me go to charcoal, just so you can see what it looks like on the original image. And I will do Buddy here, charcoal to him. As you can see, the type of effect that is adding there, really, really cool. Really, really cool effect there. All right, so let's revert this to original. And let's go with the edger now. If you look at the water, you can see some of the effect that is adding. Alright, so let me go with the dotter, which is really, really cool right here. And one thing you can do, so let me show you the dots. This kind of adds like the comic book effect to it. So as you can see right here, it's kind of adding the comic book effect to my image. And then you could also change that. I could add some saturation to it. I could swipe left or right. I could add some vibrance. Whoops. Add a little bit of, let's go with a little bit of contrast here. As you can see how my image has transformed. Really cool stuff. So let me go back to revert that to original and go with the flares. Just add a little light flare to your photo. Really cool stuff there. Notice the little dots on the lens flare there. Let's revert that to original. And let's go with the drips. So as you can see, kind of put the little paint drips all over Buddy here. And you know, like I said, I'm just showing you what these brushes look like, so I'm not really trying to create anything. Just wanted to show you, give you an example of how all the brushes work. Let's go with the posterize here. As you notice that the water is changing there. Alright, so we will revert that. Let's go with the silk. You'll notice the water again. Alright, let's revert that and go with the bleach. Notice the water changing colors here. Alright, let's go with the sepia. How do you pronounce that? I just want to make it small, so I'm going to do the whole image. One thing to keep in mind is another thing is really what separates this from other like filter applications for your device is you have total control over it. So I can add like this effect to just the background and don't really have to add it to the dock. So I have total control over this effect. And the more you apply the effect, now look right here, I've already applied it right here. So the more I go over that area, the more the effect adds to it. See how it's getting darker? Let's go over it again. It gets a little bit darker. We'll go over it again. It gets a little bit darker. Go over it again. It gets a little bit darker. Go over it again. It gets a little bit darker. You get the idea. Let's revert that. Hollywood is a really cool filter right here. So let's get in here. Look at that. A really cool effect there. Notice that water turning from like that brown to like this blue-green. Notice Buddy changing. Really cool stuff here. Let's revert that. Vintage is really nice. Oops. Well, vintage is not really nice because that's Hollywood. So let's go with vintage. This kind of adds that old feel to the photo. And again, the more you go over it, the more effect that it adds. And you'll notice that it changed right there. So let's go with freshen. Alright, see freshen. So let's go with hatching. And you know, if you want to do like the whole image really fast, just make it smaller. Then you just go over the entire image. Then you can always zoom back in and fine touch a certain little area that you want to fine touch. So let's revert that. Let's go with daubs. It's like little paint daubs. Really cool stuff here. Kind of reminds me, I don't know, stained glass maybe. Let's go with Van Gogh. Really cool. So kind of give it that Van Gogh look. Starry Night. So let's revert that. And let's go with spray. Really cool stuff here. And some of the light brushes are really cool. The glow smoke. Yes, you can add some cool little effects in there. And I'll show you like a final image here in a minute. The stars are really cool. You can add some little effects to it. You know, liven up the image. Sparkler. And the glow line. So if I wanted to outline Buddy here, I can outline Buddy. And then you have the undo and eraser. So the undo, so I can go back over that glow line. Let's go right here. Messed up right there. Maybe I didn't want to do his nose, so I can kind of just go over that and delete an area that I don't want to add an effect to. An eraser now, the difference between eraser and undoer is only going to remove anything that you've actually applied to the image, any type of effect. Eraser is going to delete everything, image, white, and effect. So eraser does every single thing. So if you just wanted to, say you just wanted to erase the background, you could remove the complete background here. You just want to leave Buddy's head. So let's do that. So we can just go over. And again, you can zoom in a little bit so that you don't erase any part of Buddy. Just want to get the background there. And you get the idea. So now, you know what, let's revert it and let's create something really fast while we are right here. So I want to cartoonize Buddy first. I'm going to do the whole image, so I will make that smaller, add a light little cartoon effect to Buddy. Like that. Let me add a little bit more to Buddy right here. Alright, cool. So let's add some lens flare. And then I want to add some of that glow smoke here. This, add that, and let's add some stars here. And let's go with, how about the daughter? Do like the outline here, let's add a little frame to it. Alright, then let's come up in here and add a little bit of brightness. And with the brightness, you just select your effect and swipe left or right, and that'll add more to the right, add less to the left. So let's go with a little contrast, add a little, you know what, oops. I don't want to add too much, I want to be able to see his eye. Alright, so let's go with saturation, a little more saturation, some vibrance in here. Yeah, and let's go with temperature, play with that a little bit. And then let's add some vignetting to the photo. Boom, and there's my masterpiece. Awesome stuff. And I can tap check mark, and then I want to share on Twitter. I'll tweet this. Simple as that. Awesome, awesome stuff here. So look, here's the thing about it. This is a great application. It's free to try. So what are you waiting for? Go download it, try it. Let me know what you think. You can get me on Twitter at iCrizzo. It's a great app. I mean, go ahead. If you like the application with the free version of it, go ahead and check out some of those in-app purchases. You see what the brushes do. You get a feel for it. I mean, this is terrific right here. This is not just, hey, I downloaded this app. I can tap, I have a choice of 10 filters to add. This right here, you have total control over it. So you can add these effects to, your photo, how you want to do it. Like if I just wanted to add like a certain effect to a portion of it, I have that option. I have full control over the application. So anyway, this is Repix, R-E-P-I-X. Remember, you can go to repix.it. If you want to find out more about this application, you want to find out more iPad tips, tricks, iPad reviews, whatever, be sure to check me out at totalipad.com. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.